How's it going, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Madison Hill, and yes, it's time for another pop-off with Madison. For today's pop-off, you guys, I'm gonna be talking about Britney Spears because I'll be honest with y'all, there's a lot of tea that we need to sift through. We're gonna be talking about a lot of things in this pop-off. We're gonna be talking about Britney Spears settling the lawsuit with her dad, Jamie. We're gonna be talking about how she posted on Instagram saying she feels like she hasn't received justice. We're also going to discuss the alleged status of her mental health and her finances, because you guys, there are now several conflicting reports when it comes to Britney's money. If you tuned into yesterday's happy hour hang, you know one source spoke to TMZ and said that Britney is on the brink of going broke. Now other sources are speaking out and saying that's not entirely the case. It's a mess, but it's a mess that we're gonna get into together. But first, because this is the first pop-off of the week, you know, I have to check in and see how the House of Hill is doing. So let me know how you are, what you've been up to, all of that good stuff down below. Me personally, you guys, nothing too crazy to report. I did want to thank you guys for all of the birthday wishes last week. Thank you for making me feel so incredibly special. You know, Taurus season is my favorite season. Other than that, I feel like really the only other thing I have to fill you guys in on is I'm going to Kansas City this weekend for a quick trip, going to celebrate a baby shower. But yeah, other than that, nothing too crazy to report, which is probably a good thing because I know you guys are like, Madison, it sounds like we have a lot of fresh Britney tea, and maybe not even necessarily the most positive Britney tea, but it's still tea that we need to get into. So straight to the tea people, go ahead and put this time code down there in the comments to help out your fellow straight to the tea people. And now to get to unwrapping these Britney Spears facts. Okay, so as you all know, Britney Spears' 13-year-long conservatorship actually ended back in November of 2021. However, unfortunately for Britney, her legal trouble did not stop there. After Britney was freed from her conservatorship and the conservatorship was lifted, Britney Spears then filed a lawsuit against her father, Jamie Spears, for the mistreatment she suffered while he was in charge of her conservatorship. Now, this lawsuit that Britney filed against Jamie has been going on for several years now, and it abruptly came to an end just a few days ago when news broke that Britney and Jamie had settled their lawsuit. Now, according to some reports, you guys, they settled for a quote undisclosed amount, but according to TMZ reports that Jamie did not end up owing Britney anything at the end of the lawsuit. In fact, multiple reports state that Britney Spears actually ended up having to pay Jamie Spears' legal fees to the tune of $2 million. Now, while Britney's attorney Matthew Rosengart had previously called Jamie's request for her to pay his legal fees shameful, obviously something changed. And after the settlement news broke, Matthew Rosengart released this statement saying, quote, Britney Spears won when her father was suspended as conservator, and she obtained her freedom, and her civil rights and liberties were restored. She now has obtained her final piece of freedom as she instructed, as she no longer will need to be entangled with the court or the court system in this matter. Now, while Matthew Rosengart is clearly framing this settlement as a win, I will say it doesn't sound like Britney Spears is necessarily on the same page, at least according to an Instagram post that she put up shortly after the settlement news broke. Now, it is worth mentioning this post has since been deleted, but in the caption she wrote about how she feels like she had no justice. The caption started off saying that she has nerve damage in her back and now has to get acupuncture every day. She continued saying, quote, my family hurt me, there has been no justice and probably never will be. Britney also mentioned in this caption that she sometimes posts these confrontational posts on Instagram because she doesn't feel it's safe to address her perpetrators face to face. She then ended the caption sadly saying she wished she could go back to visit her childhood home in Louisiana, but that they sold everything, which if you remember, we actually talked about when Britney's childhood home was put up for sale. So yeah, overall, not the best reaction to the settlement news. In addition to that, you guys, there is another questionable post on Britney's Instagram that she has not deleted. She posted this caption with a photo of a wine bottle and a glass of wine. In the caption, she's talking about how she's just now experiencing real wine because she's been drinking bottles that were $6.99 and now she's able to try ones worth $300. She said, quote, it's actually incredibly cruel and sad. My family took away from me the good stuff for far too long. Britney continued in this caption saying that it's only been 2 years since the conservatorship has been over. It has technically almost been 3, but that's neither here nor there. She went on to say, quote, in real respective of what she's been through, that's honestly not a lot of time at all. She takes each day to heal herself slowly. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, in addition to tea about the settlement and Britney's reaction to the settlement, we also have reportedly gotten a little insight into the current state of her mental health and her finances. First, getting into what is being said about Britney's mental health, this is coming from a new report from TMZ, where a source shared that Britney is, quote, completely dysfunctional since the conservatorship ended. She reportedly has radical mood swings that this source calls, quote, shocking, and she's also also reportedly, quote, totally isolated and dangerously unstable. One source who's close to Britney told TMZ that Britney was doing better under the conservatorship, and they continued saying, quote, she had lots of freedom in the conservatorship and the restrictions were there to protect her. She's not protected anymore. Now, as far as Britney's finances, here's where we're getting some conflicting reports, you guys. If you tuned into yesterday's happy hour hang, then you know a source told TMZ that Britney came out of the conservatorship with about $60 million. She allegedly just had to pay her dad $2 million for his legal fees. According to TMZ, Britney Spears also had to pay her lawyer $4 million for his legal fees, so that's $6 million out the window right there. In addition to that, you guys, this TMZ source claimed that Britney is going on vacations monthly or at least bi-monthly to French Polynesia, and these vacations are reportedly very expensive. This insider claims that Britney spends almost $1 million when she goes there on her luxury hotel, the private plane, the staff, etc. She also reportedly takes monthly trips to Hawaii, and this TMZ source claims that between the flight and staying at the presidential suite at the Four Seasons, she drops around $350,000 on these Hawaii trips. This TMZ source then concluded their insider info saying Britney, quote, cannot afford this. She's now in danger of going broke. Now, here's where the fresh tea comes in for those of you who watched yesterday's happy hour hang. If you didn't, don't worry, just enjoy the fresh tea. So in addition to that TMZ report, like I said, we've gotten a few additional reports regarding Britney's finances, the first one coming from Page 6. Now, this Page 6 source sounds like they're kind of on the same page as the person who spoke to TMZ, saying that Britney, quote, has no concept of money. This Page 6 insider continued to say, quote, for over a decade, other people were in charge of her bank accounts, and every purchase had to be reported to the court, even if it was just a pack of gum. But now she's on her own. Then a second insider spoke to Page 6, you guys, and said that those closest to Britney are in a tough spot when it comes to helping her with her finances. This insider said they, quote, do not want to rock the boat and make her feel like she's in a conservatorship again. It's tricky. No one wants to be Jamie 2.0, which honestly, I kind of get, but continuing on, as far as the claim that Britney is going broke like that TMZ source said, this Page 6 insider says that Britney is not, but quote, she could definitely benefit from being more careful with her cash. Now, in addition to that TMZ report and the Page 6 report, we also have this new report from Entertainment Tonight where a source addressed Britney's alleged financial trouble, saying that Britney's about to achieve recoupment of her book sales. Remember, she did get a $15 million publishing deal. She did also sell over 2 million copies of her memoir, and according to reports, Britney Spears gets 25% of the net profits of those book sales. So she's gonna come out pretty good from the book. And like this source said, she's in the process of recouping that money. This ET source also said, quote, while Britney flies private and enjoys vacations, she's far from going broke. Now, while I obviously have some thoughts about that, what's interesting is another source is quoted in this ET report talking about Britney's alleged reaction to the lawsuit settlement. Now, remember, her Instagram post kind of made it seem like she wasn't very happy, but it's interesting, this source is making it sound like Britney is over the moon about the settlement. This source said that Britney is, quote, thrilled and relieved it's over, and then the source continued saying that Britney is extremely happy this is all behind her and fully, and good riddance to it. So again, you guys, we have a lot of Britney tea. It's a lot to sift through. I feel like there's a lot of conflicting information. Britney saying one thing, people close to her are saying something else. Obviously, I have a lot of thoughts about it, and because you guys know we are on this health and fitness challenge, I'm gonna pop off with a different kind of bubbly today. A little peach Waterloo, but we're still gonna make this pop off official with a Shambong. Okay, so first, let's discuss Britney Spears settling the lawsuit with her dad, Jamie, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I have a lot of mixed feels. So on one hand, I feel happy that it's over. Britney no longer has to keep paying legal fees for anyone else or herself, and she can now fully move on and heal from the conservatorship. But then on the other hand, you guys, I like when people have consequences for their actions. So the fact that there's potential that Jamie Spears is not being held accountable for his actions really bothers me. And the fact that on top of that, he's also reportedly getting his legal fees taken care of. I feel like he's winning in this situation, and it doesn't sit well with me that this man is winning because I don't feel like he deserves to win. Now, again, that is just my own personal opinion. I feel like I have to make it clear that is just how I feel because, of course, in the initial TMZ report about Britney and Jamie settling their lawsuit, a TMZ source conveniently mentioned that because Jamie doesn't owe Britney anything at the end of this lawsuit that proves that he didn't do anything wrong and everything he did under the conservatorship was legal. But even if that is the case and he didn't technically break the law, I think that just goes to spotlight a bigger issue, and that bigger issue is the fact that the system is broken. The fact that somebody as big as Britney Spears can have their mental, emotional, physical, and financial freedom taken away just because a couple people make accusations to court is absolutely crazy. Now, I'm not saying that I don't think Britney needed help 13 years ago. She clearly did. She clearly still needs help now. Again, I don't have a solution. I just know that what Britney accused Jamie of doing to her under the conservatorship is not okay. And her being freed from that conservatorship without any resources to help her manage this newfound freedom also does not feel okay to me. Like that Page 6 source said, you guys, Britney Spears went from having every single financial purchase controlled to now having so much freedom that she doesn't even know what to do with it. I think of it like this. Imagine if you gave a teenager $60 million and then said, go manage that, figure out how to run your life, and figure out how to make this $60 million last for the rest of your days. That teenager probably would not know the first thing about managing that money. They would probably blow it on some crazy expenses, some very luxury vacations, some expensive bottles of wine. It is hard to manage millions and millions of dollars. The saying, more money, more problems, exists for a reason. And also, let's be honest here, no celebrity manages their money by themselves. So why is Britney Spears being left to her own devices to manage her money by herself? That makes absolutely no sense. I totally understand that those around her are scared to jump in and scared to cross a line because nobody wants to appear as though they are being Jamie 2.0. Clearly nobody wants to be Jamie. Clearly nobody wants Britney to feel constricted in any way, shape, or form. But at some point, someone is going to have to step in and help. Because I don't know how you can sit there in good conscience watching Britney spend money like crazy and going on these trips and reaping the benefits, all while knowing she does need to slow down a little bit for her own good. I could not sit back for very long and watch somebody do that. Again, I don't think Britney Spears is going broke tomorrow, and I said that during yesterday's happy hour hang. Clearly, she's in the process of getting recoupment from all of the sales of her book. That's a great thing. Obviously, she can still make money on royalties, which you don't make as much money as you think, but that is still some money coming in. I'm not saying that Britney is going to lose all of her money by the end of the week. However, I do believe she needs some tools and people around her to help her understand how to better manage her money, especially if Britney Spears really isn't in the best place mentally. She's not going to be able to do things to make more money right now until she does get into a better place mentally. So I feel like it is really crucial at this time for her to manage her money so she can get healthy, and then she can go out and obviously make millions and millions and millions of more dollars. You know, at the end of the day, what I hope for Britney is I hope that she can just get people around her that she trusts, which I know that might take a little bit because Britney Spears has been burned so badly. She was burned by the people she's supposed to be able to trust the most, those people being her family. So I absolutely 1000% understand Britney isolating herself a little bit, having to work through trust issues, having to really think about who you're letting into your circle. I get that she is probably struggling with that, but at the end of the day, I hope that she can finally get some genuine people around her. But I'd be lying to y'all if I didn't say I'm just a little concerned. I'm a little concerned about what that source was saying about her current mental health status, and I know we have to be careful what we take from TMZ because they are a little too pro Jamie sometimes, but still, if you look at her Instagram posts and then you hear that report, you can unfortunately kind of see some consistencies in my opinion. So I am a little concerned for her, but I just hope that she gets all the help she needs on all fronts. I don't know what the solution is. I wish I had a solution. Obviously, the system is clearly not helping Britney find any solutions either. I just hope that Britney can find some people around her to lift her up, protect her, and help her. That's ultimately what I hope for Britney, and I hope the next update I get to bring you guys is the fact that Britney is getting help. But obviously, in the meantime, you know, when anything happens Britney related, I'll be sitting right here to fill you guys in on it. All right, you guys, that's the latest I have for you when it comes to Britney Spears. I want to hear all of your thoughts and feels down below. While y'all are at it, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget that notification bell. For more content, make sure you guys are following me over on Instagram and TikTok. And of course, don't forget to come back here to check out my YouTube shorts. If you guys want to show me a little extra love or you just want to make sure I see your comment, don't forget you can also hit that super thanks button down below. below. Also, you guys, don't forget to tune in to tomorrow's live happy hour hang going down at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. You guys can also check out all of my merch over at my merch store at houseofhill.com. And on that note, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.